India strikes a defiant tone, rejects claim of halting trade with Russia.
US continues to attack India over oil deal with Russia. Government sources have revealed to your channel that India will not reduce its purchase of Russian oil despite this sort of an external pressure.
Has Modi government thrown the conflict to Trump administration? Or is this tough talk only meant for internal consumption and face saving?
India and the United States share a comprehensive global strategic partnership.
All this and more. My name is Ramesh Khan and you watch the Fact Sheet TV, where we'll bring you latest from around the globe with exclusive focus on Asia. Viewers, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is playing the victor and the victim card all at the same time. Talk about hypocrisy. The victim card is what Narendra Modi government is playing externally to the global audience, telling the world that how can America, Donald J. Trump of all the people, impose sanctions on Modi government? What about friendship with Modi? What about howdy Modi? That is what India is finding hard to digest. The other thing that they are reminding America of is that India was the first line of defense against China. How can they abandon them like that? Whereas the victor card is concerned, it is for the local audience. The government is trying to present itself as a winner here, telling their people that how they have managed to protect their agriculturists, how they have managed to protect their farmers, how they have managed to protect their dairy sector. These are stated positions. I'm not just making it up. You can go look them up. There are tons of videos, tons of stories, to this end. So, without any further ado, let us get to our moot point here. Will India halt its trade with Russia? Or ignore the American pressure and rather, increase their trade volume with them and fear, land directly in the crosswinds? So before we further proceed, take a listen to what Donald J. Trump had to say about it.
Well, I understand India no longer is going to be buying oil from Russia. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's a good step. We'll see what happens, okay?
So this was American President Donald J. Trump saying that the word that he has gotten is that India has stopped buying oil from Russia. Now, take a listen to what the spokesperson for Ministry of External Affairs had to say about it.
So, on our energy sourcing requirements, you are aware of our broad approach that we look at what is there available in the markets, what is there on offer, and also what is the prevailing global situation or circumstances.
So this was Randhir Jaswal, the spokesperson for Ministry of External Affairs. Now he's pointing towards two things, one of which is very important. One, he's talking about the market dynamics, what is available in the market, what is cheaper, what is easier to buy, and so forth. The other important factor is the global circumstances. Now, don't you think America placing sanctions on Russia, placing sanctions exclusively on Russian oil, and all those buying Russian oil comes under the heading of these global circumstances? Don't you think Europe has a sway in it? So they have made it pretty clear that they are going to look for other sources. Not immediately. I mean, this is what I'm assuming, that behind the scenes India would be negotiating with America, that give us some time to wean off the Russian oil. We understand that all of a sudden when you're buying 1 million barrels of oil per day, you just cannot shift your intake and just move to a different country. The operation is a mammoth, and it would take time before these things take effect. So I think this is where the negotiation would be. Now we'll have to look at it from a different perspective. Now we'll have to bring in weight to the very side of the fact that India will not be trading with Russia, and even if they would try and reduce their consumption down to like 10%, maybe 15%. Right now they have gone up from trading 0.02 or 0.05% of Russian oil to 40% of Russia's total production of oil, and almost 80% of India's total requirement of oil is coming from Russia. So you can understand all this had happened when the sanctions were placed on Russian oil. India made billions. according to rough estimates, India had made $12 billion off of these, taking benefit of this entire sanction regime. When the world was putting pressure on Russia to stop killing people in Ukraine, India was having a blast. India was basically exploiting the blood of the Ukrainians, the death of Ukrainians. $12 billion is what India has made off of this sanction business. And this is not the first time that India had gone to such controversial places. And India had gone to the extent of offending America, or rather testing their patience. Prior to Russia, it was Iran. They had gone to Iran. When sanctions were placed on Iran, India had gone to their doors to buy cheaper oil. So now the question is, how much is too much? And this apparently is where America said that we have had enough. You just cannot be the bully here. You just cannot bully America around. So now, as I've said, let me add more weight to the fact that India is going to wean off of Russia's oil. Now, we'll have to bear in mind there are three things that have happened in past week or so that are telltale to what is that we can predict in the future. One, we know that Neara, a Russian oil company, an Indian oil company with the ties to Rosneft, a Russian company, was sanctioned by European Union. We know that Intershipping Hub Private Limited was also sanctioned by European Union. We know of a captain, Abhinav Kamal, sanctioned by European Union. All this had to do with Russian oil. One for refining Russian oil, the other for moving Russian oil, last for captaining the ship. So that is how far European Union had gone with this sanction business. And you have to keep in mind that Russian exports have taken a hit. No shipper is ready to pick up oil from Neara. There have been multiple instances when shipping companies turned back empty. Multiple instances, not one, multiple instances. You can go look them up. A vessel named Talara reversed course from Gujarat. A vessel named Changha Nuan went empty again from Gujarat to South Africa. Why? Because no shipper is ready to get sanctioned by the European Union. So here you have to understand that India does not have the leeway to make a decision. It will be forced to take a decision. And what concessions India is looking for, I've already told you about that. That give them some time to look elsewhere. And it's not that India has not already started looking elsewhere. It's reaching out to other nations for procuring oil. But will it get the time to make the necessary arrangements? That is the million-dollar question here. Now, the other bigger question that has India decided to go after Donald Trump? Has India thrown in the gauntlet? After all, we know that he has humiliated Modi government one too many times, 30 times by telling them that how they have been lying to their own people, and this war was actually called off on the instructions of Donald J. Trump. And why is India so adamant about saying that what Donald Trump is saying is false, is complete falsehood? Is because that entire premise, the cock and bull story of winning the war, is based on Pakistani approaching to them and getting this war called off. The DGMO conversation, that story is only there to ensure, to tell their own people that how Pakistan, was down to its knees and begging to India to please call off this war. If this reality is exposed to its own people, the Indian people, that it was Donald J. Trump, then the cornerstone, the linchpin of the story will just fall apart. Now, India, when there was a talk of reciprocal tariffs, had said that, if America would put in tariffs, we too would put in tariffs, the retaliatory tariffs. So now the question is, where are those tariffs? Where is this talk happening about retaliatory tariffs? Why is India becoming so defensive all of a sudden? Why is it that now India realizes that America is very important? Because up till a week ago, up till a month ago, India was presenting itself as the next big thing in the world. To its local audience, it was telling the world that, we'll be a superpower. We'll be the local global power. We'll be the regional power. And this was the biggest misnomer. They never tell their own audience that no matter how big India becomes, it is no match for America, it's no match for China. Their total economy is less than $4 trillion. One state, just one state of India, America, has bigger economy. So it cannot even compete with one state. And we're talking about a country that has an economy, like more than 10 times, more than 9 times their economy. And they feel that they can take them on like that. These were the lies spoken to their own audience. And there's a term in English, getting high on their own supplies. Indian government got sucked into their own propaganda. This propaganda of how tough they were, how big they were economically, and how big of a military might they were, got high on their own supplies. So let us tell you where India stands vis-a-vis America. So again, I'm going to quote you. I'm going to show you the statement of spokesperson for Ministry of External Affairs. Take a listen to this.
India and the United States share a comprehensive global strategic partnership anchored in shared interests, democratic values, and robust people-to-people ties. This partnership has weathered several transitions and challenges. We remain focused on the substantive agenda that the two countries have committed to and are confident that the relationship will continue to move forward. We have strong ties with the United States. These ties have strengthened over the last several years and decades. There is potential for this partnership to grow further under the India-US Compact for the 21st century.
So here he's talking about shared interest and how their partnership has weathered many tumultuous times. And what is he talking about? He's saying that, no matter how bad Trump is, we are going to still work with America. So this tells you that America has India by their short and curlies. India is not in any position to challenge America. And they have come to this realization that they will have to come down on all fours. Now, the only possible option that India has is to reach out to China, is to reach out to Pakistan, and to stop becoming a bully. Stop acting like a bully, because it cannot become a bully. It just does not have the economic or the military might. After the drubbing it got from Pakistan, India should realize that it is very vulnerable. The amounts of fight it has picked in the region. China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Iran, Turkey, every other country, all apart from Pakistan and China, all these countries that I'm naming, Bangladesh, Iran, Turkey, India had enjoyed good relations with. But under this fascist regime, India is finding itself isolated. Now it is for the Indian people to see that if Modi can prove to be a good leader in future, or they should start thinking about the plan B, Rahul Gandhi.